It's once again time for young WG to tell you how to beat stage 10, and this time we're looking at the cleanser strat while trying to or making us survive in the middle against the cold snap. And the way we do this here is by using Sadie as well as Northerners for the shields and Elowen and Medan for the double cleanse. But just because we're using these units doesn't mean they're irreplaceable. It's been a year since then. A lot of units have come out. A lot of things have hopefully changed for your account. So let's briefly go about a couple of these changes. Like, you could be bringing a Furcy instead of a Sadie. You could be bringing a Sadie and a Furcy. You could be trying to include a Carnelian in here. There's so many units that allow survivability. You can be trying a Dursa for that 70% reduction, though I don't recommend it because it's like big burst damage. You can be bringing Diao for the permanent damage taken down. And if you don't have a Sadie, if you don't have a Diao, if you don't have anything like that, you need 55,000 total HP. So for example, to run that Astrid in the middle, you have to give her around plus 18,000 through gear HP, and then the rest is going to come from the Lord bonus. And then outside of that, Medan. Medan doesn't have to be Medan. It could also be now Nisande. Nisande can now cleanse. You can use Nisande. You can bring Dusomi for the cleanse. You could be bringing Tallulah for the cleanse. Tallulah is really effective at that cleanse. Once again, you could also try out Enora if you have Enora. Enora can't get frozen at all anyway. And the easiest to replace is by far these two damage dealers right here. The only thing you need is range. It doesn't even have to be 2 units, but preferably a character with marksman range, meaning that you can hit while they move past the tanks, but mage range is also fine. So you could be bringing a Praetus, you can be bringing a Enora, you could bring whoever you have. There's a lot of viability here. Just because we're using these specific units doesn't mean it's impossible without them. So yeah, you can make it happen. I believe in you. On with the stage. So, alright, yeah, so here we go straight into the stage. Sadie goes in first. Then we speed up time a bit. I bring in Elowen. So after Elowen, we'll again fast forward time a bit and it's time to bring in Medan. Elowen's purpose here is to provide cleanses and to provide rage regen. So basically her whole kit. Sadie's purpose is to help us against a move called Cold Snap. After every second Glacial Purge, the boss is going to do something called Cold Snap. What Cold Snap does is in this area right here, he's going to do a crap ton of magic damage. Most units are very vulnerable to it. So it's basically going to kill your fighters, your healers, your dealers, and maybe your tank survives if you're lucky. So for Cold Snap, we're going to activate Sadie's ultimate so our units survive. There we go. And yeah. Next off, we'll be bringing in Astrid. And Hollow is there for some extra rage regen and making sure that Sadie is ready every single Cold Snap. Lastly, it's time to put in the tank. And then as soon as the enemies close in, we are going to activate Astrid's ultimate. So as long as they are close enough, we're going to activate Astrid's ultimate. Here we get another Cold Snap, so we defend against it. We then activate Hollow's ultimate. And now it's time you pay attention to what is going on there. I know there's a lot going on, but you can use your cleanse attacks to basically unfreeze your units. You're going to be able to unfreeze your units or get rid of the Winter Spite stacks. And your mission is to do it in a way to ensure that you basically don't let anyone pass. So for example here, it's mainly about keeping your tank and then in another case your Astrid unfrozen. Next up we bring in our kind of like support damage dealer in the sense that it's a unit that reaches over here and helps a bit with cleaning them out. And Vortex is going to be a distraction. So let's see, our tank is ready, which means nobody should pass. And we did everything properly. There we go, nobody passed. Now this level is pretty disgusting, but you can let up to 2 units go through. So you can let up to 2 units go through, which means you have pretty much 2 get out of jail free cards. It doesn't matter if you clear it with 1 or 3 enemies remaining. Here once more we'll be activating Hollow for some extra rage regen. Glacial Purge comes in. And yeah, we just ensure that every one of our units actually survives. The freezes in certain scenarios don't really matter. For example, the freeze right here, it is what it is. Elwyn getting frozen, Isolde getting frozen there isn't too important. For the Cold Snap, again, don't forget to use your Sadie's ultimate. After Sadie's ultimate, throw Hollow's ultimate on it again. And then here, for example, we want to unfreeze to ensure that this guy doesn't pass. And we can also use the ultimate of Silas. Could also be another unit like, for example, Satcham or the like. Alright, perfect. Everyone good, everyone alive. Cold Snap, again, don't forget your Sadies. Use your Hollow ultimate after your Sadie. And then right here, we're going to activate Astrid's ultimate. Not quite. We're going to unfreeze her, then activate Astrid's ultimate. So we can start to take care of the enemies there. So it's pretty much a balance between killing the enemies and using the double cleanses when you need them to ensure that your units don't get frozen. So Cold Snap once more. You know the deal. We activate Sadie. And then we continue on. Alright, so Hollow died, which is, I guess you could say it's alright. And here we're going to use Midan to unfreeze. Silas to do some more damage. Elwyn to unfreeze. Isolde to block. Alright. So we're starting to deal with the units quite well. Cold Snap comes in. We're going to activate Sadie's ultimate. And everyone still survives. Perfect. And now we should be able to get our cleanse back up. There we go. Cleanse is back up. We deal with the units right there. And we can bring in Hollow once more. Perfect. Now obviously here there's not much we can do. We're probably going to lose most of our units. We can also activate Isolde's ultimate, which is going to grant 30% damage reduction to allies around us. But as you can see, yes, Midan survived. But for example, Sadie died, Elwyn's already dead. But it's not that crucial. We're basically done with the fight part up until here. Now this was the easy or hard part depending on how you look at it. Now our mission is how can we kill this boss? And to kill this boss we have pretty much all the time in the world. So we're just going to fast forward time until we can place everyone back down once more. We're also going to remove him and we're going to remove Silas because he's in an unfortunate position. Midan's ultimate here, so she actually survives the Cold Snap. And then we just wait until everyone is where he needs to be. Alright. Now we're just going to keep refreshing our ultimates. Alright, Cold Snap comes in. Obviously Sadie once more. So everything stays alive nice and well. We're not actually... I mean, do we... we kinda do need Midan. Yeah. Alright, Glacial Purge. You're not really going to be able to do a whole bunch with her anymore. Because, I mean, I guess I can show it to you. Every time you do place her down, the boss is just going to use like super strong melee attacks. For example, this Rake does 76k damage. And that's basically end of story. Alright, so here we go. Alright, the little note here, I didn't play the end part perfectly. If you want to, you can go forward like 2 or 3 minutes up until the point where we play it perfectly. And if I had to give you the perfect formation for the end, right, that is going to be Sadie right here, Hollow right here, Sealers down here, Elowin over there, Vortex down here, and Hex over there. And then unit or ability wise, you want to use Isolde every Flash Freeze and Sadie every Cold Snap. And now it's pretty much you using your 3 units to find a way to deal with what the boss is doing here. So even if we use Midan and the 30% damage reduction, Sealers, everyone else still dies, right, as we talked about. So yeah, honestly I think we can probably kind of like reform our units. This combination at the top there works quite well, but Midan can go. And yes, I know this shit is pretty fucking long. So Cold Snap, we're not really going to have to worry about it too much because it mainly just hits our tank there. And then Sadie comes in, Sealers and Elowin, all of them in Sadie's range to ensure that they actually survive. And then it's go time. Sealers activates his ultimate, or for example if you have it like a Setrum also works quite well. I guess if you are patient enough you should probably be able to do it with like a Idra 2. It's just about being able to reach the boss. So for the Cold Snap, once more we defend. We bring in the ability again, and we're going to put in Midan on this side actually. So yeah, now it's time to try to bring the boss down to 0. Alright, Cold Snap. Now, Ancient Lineage is where he kind of enters into phase 2, if I had to describe it. So, Ancient Lineage basically means he's going to regenerate his HP by 20%, and then he's going to start with this fucking annoying Flash Freeze move. Now, what Flash Freeze does is, basically it does a bunch of damage, right? It does a bunch of damage in waves, and it also applies Winter's Bite. So after the second Flash Freeze, what you want to do is cleanse the Winter's Bite stacks. Alright, so Hollow died, Glacial Purge, and the annoying part is he does that every 100 seconds. Every 100 seconds he's going to come in with another of those Flash Freezes. So here we go again with Glacial Purge. After Glacial Purge, obviously the boss didn't decide to get rid of Cold Snap, because why would he? Would be too nice. Midan died there. We could have saved Midan if we actually activated the ultimate from Isolde, but I rather want to keep that for the Flash Freeze. So there we go, Flash Freeze. We're going to cleanse with Elowin. Use Isolde, bring in the extra rage. And bring Hex back in. So yeah, 62% on the boss. Glacial Purge once more. After Glacial Purge, obviously has to be again Cold Snap, the biggest dickhead move in existence. Naturally kills everyone. Or better said, everyone not in Sadie's range. So next time we're just going to bring Hollow up in Sadie's range. Alright, Glacial Purge. Which means next thing is again going to be basically a Flash Freeze. There we go, Flash Freeze. For Flash Freeze we're going to actually use Isolde as our defender. Use Elowin to cleanse after the second stack. Use Sealers again for damage. Fast forward time obviously. Cold Snap comes in, Sadie to the rescue. And there we go.
So 34%, boss obviously heals himself because he's a dickhead with every ancestral cleansing, which means this fight is going to take even longer. But the best part is we only need to play it once. I really wouldn't want to play this more than once. So, Cold Snap. That's unfortunate. That is pretty shit. As you can see, Sadie isn't quite ready because Hollow died somewhere in there. Which means this fight is going to take quite a bit longer. So I hope you were able to, I guess, kind of see the optimal formation you really want to go with. And yeah, from here on out it's just pretty much waiting, getting one time the perfect formation in and then rolling with it. Here we're obviously going to bring in a healer just to ensure that our Isolde doesn't die. The reason why Sadie survived there is luckily because of the Northern Throne timing. Elwyn in, Silas in. Vortex in, Hollow in, Ultimate is ready, Flash Freeze is going to happen and do its thing. We don't actually have anyone to cleanse ready. We do have Elwyn ready, perfect. Hex died, but that is what it is. And then Cold Snap. Cold Snap once more, we obviously defend with Sadie. And on we go. Woo! Yay! So we do a bunch more damage. Might actually be enough to kill him here. And it is! What a mad stage! Mad annoying! Alright. This has been it. I hope you appreciated the effort. 16 minutes for one single stage. And yeah, stage 10 really isn't anything to joke about. Alright, so lastly, let's talk about the gear used. Obviously the gear is pretty good, but it doesn't need to be as good. So for example, let's start with Hex. Hex has around 200% attack, 300 attack, 100% crit rate, 189% crit damage, running a 25 Spirit Siphon. The lesser your damage, the lesser your gear, the longer the fight is going to take. That's pretty much the way it is. Then we have Silas. Silas at around 180% attack, 300 attack speed, 100% crit rate, 228% crit damage, 46% rage regen, and a 25 Spirit Siphon. Elwyn is in an invigoration set, but I don't think we truly ever made use of it this fight, which with around 200% attack, 200 attack speed, 200 healing effect, so 200, 200, 200, 200. And then a Euphoric Orb for some extra attack speed boost. Hollow's in a morale set. The morale set is absolutely not needed. The important part is that you run in high attack speed, high rage regen, and with some health, we have around 100%, 150 to 200%. It's going to make your life a lot smoother than ours. Then we have Isolde. Isolde is in a classical tank set. Nothing too crazy. 300% health, 100% defense, some attack speed, some rage regen, artifact wise a Bastion Ring at 1. So Isolde really truly doesn't need all that good gear. Vortex, 300% HP, 200% attack, 38 healing effect and 57% rage regen. The rage regen isn't that crucial and he's running a Bright Root Ring. Midan. So Midan has 56% rage regen, around 300% extra HP. HP could be lower because you have Sadie, and artifact wise you're running Golden Scarab, but it's not that necessary, you can get away without it. Then we have Astrid. Astrid is in 300% attack, 230 attack speed, 100% crit rate, 135% crit damage with 23% rage regen. Obviously with the Wailing Skull at 25, that is just a big help, but if you do time your ultimates well, you can get away with less. Lastly, we have Sadie. Sadie is running high attack speed, high rage regen, decent amount of health at 130%, and her exclusive artifact, but it really doesn't matter what you put on her, just that your ultimate is ready. So yeah, Peace.